Hey everybody, so this is round two, well the latter three matches of the CPL League on some quiet speculation oath. First couple matches, the wins came pretty easy and quick, so we'll see how it goes for the latter half here. Alright, so we're going to be on the play, and it's an all or nothing Oath of Druids hand. We do have some Treetop Villages. Alright, well I guess I registered this deck to play Oath of Druids. We'll see how it goes. Alright, I'm gonna kick it off with a Treetop Village and pass it back. A Wooded Foothills is somewhat encouraging that this Oath of Druids won't be terrible. A Basic Forest is less encouraging. Okay, we're back in. Alright. Yeah, so slam Oath of Druids. I guess I'll keep the City of Brass a secret. I'm just trying to think. Definitely no reason to play the City of Brass now. I think, I could hide the plains for a turn. I really don't see the downside in doing that, so I'm just gonna not let them know which flavor of Oath we might be on. Priest of Titania, so they're just gonna try to plow right through this Oath here. There's a survival of the fittest. So if we could hit like Ray of Revelation or Volcanic Spray, that would be pretty awesome. Looks like we hit none of those things. There's a Call of the Herd. Okay. So this is going to be interesting. I think what I want to do is deploy my second Oath of Druids and deploy the basic plains. And so this protects us from like Nantuko, Vigilante. And playing, they can't just destroy one Oath of Druids, they'll need to destroy two. They want to ruin my day. And then we're setting up to flashback. Well, I guess Ray of Revelation is a green to flashback. So playing the plains doesn't hurt there, but we are building towards Cataclysm. We can somehow rip that off the top of our deck. If we get to Oath twice, there's a very good chance. Then maybe we can hit Ray of Revelation and Volcanic Spray. Or at least Deep Analysis. Also, if we Oath twice, we're going to have a giant Terravore. The opponent does have a lot of mana to work with here. So they've searched up Anger. So I guess they're just going to try to go wide on us here, which makes sense. And they get a Maltani's Acolyte. Well, that makes me feel less like I'm about to die. So here's the Acolyte. At this point, I'm just going to F6, as it's pretty clear I don't have Swords to Plowshares. Okay, so they used the Wirewood Symbiote. So how much hay can they make with this Priest of Titania? They can make 3 mana. They discard Thunderscape Battle Mage. So this is more of a Cradle Control style build than all-out Elves. So they get another Priest. This one taps for 4. So they've got a Wirewood Symbiote. And a Mountain in play now. Untap the Priest. And play the Priest, and it taps for like 4. So I think... Okay, so I believe they just activated their second Wirewood Symbiote. So I feel like we're not about to get Deranged Hermited, or that we're not about to die this turn. There's quite a ways to go until they can do 20 points of damage. I think they're finally running out of resources over there. But we'll see. So they get a Squee. And then one more survival. Another Wirewood. Okay. So I guess this kind of insulates them against Volcanic Spray. Maybe that's what they have in mind. Because now the priest only taps for like 2. Of course, they go up to 4 mana because they had 2 already. They get Multani's Acolyte. Play Multani's Acolyte. So are they able to like... Okay, so then now they can activate a priest 1 more time. 4 mana. And play another survival. Well, that's not very good. Well, I guess it does protect them. If we're to hit Ray of Revelation here. Cool. Well, we're going to oath through most of our library. Have a bunch of heckin' chonkers in play. See how it goes. Pretty poorly. Well, we at least did hit the Volcanic Spray, so we got that going on. There's a deep analysis. Okay. Well, here's a City of Brass. Yeah, and I think I should just do this pre-combat. So, okay, here we go. Just tap like this. Yield to those triggers. So they do have to reset their board here. I mean, they're probably going to be able to do a lot of damage next turn. But I don't know if it's sufficient to kill us. I guess hitting the Volcanic Spray was really the best case scenario. Hitting a Ray of Revelation to take out their survival would do nothing where they have 2. But yeah, they are making a bunch of mana. Turning all their dudes to their hand. And I'll go into my attack step. At least they're mostly out of symbiotes. Activating survival. Collar of the Claw. Well, that's a pretty good one. I'm just going to give them some bears. I think I'm still attacking with Terravore. But now it's pretty easy for them to attack for the win next turn. They don't need to add that much power to the board. Maybe attacking there's a little silly. Because we oath next turn. And then like our attack is guaranteed to go across the finish line. They would have to have like a lot of blockers. Well, we're F6'd here. So it's a Priest of Titania. One thing about this turn is that it's going to take forever. So they play Priest into Priest. Survival. Discarding Squee. We pop this out also. I guess not. Oh, there it is. Okay. The last part with Symbiote. So activating Survival, discarding Priest of Titania. Ooh, Kamal, Fist of Krosa. And Living Wish. So maybe the wish that's going to come true is another Gaia's Cradle. Yeah, and now they can activate the Kamal, Fist of Krosa for a whole bunch of mana. And give their boys Overrun. And I would say this is more than 20 damage. So that's cool. All right. So Cataclysm, Naturalize, Volcanic Spray, Ray of Revelation. Those seem like good cards. All right, so on the play here, it's pretty easy to board out a Mox Diamond and then Mana Leak. I mean, they usually have a ton of mana, although Mana Leak could be okay, but I'm just going to count on Ray of Revelation and Naturalize here. And Call of the Herd. Like random 3/3 is not that important. And then the Treetop Village, probably not how we're winning either. And so what we'll just need to do is draw a little more removal this time. Volcanic Spray, Cataclysm though, quite good in this matchup. Let's give it a shot. Well, this is an interesting hand. Yeah, I guess it's pretty straightforward. I didn't immediately see the Windswept Heath. That'll give us the white mana for the swords. But I think it is going to be the Treetop into Oath of Druids and Sylvan Library plus swords. Play Treetop Village and pass. So the opponent is just going to Wooded Foothills and pass here. Volcanic Spray is an excellent draw. So do I want to trot out a Sylvan Library? Whatever we play here is about to get naturalized. You know, Oath of Druids like wasn't that good. Like oathing out Terravores didn't really accomplish what we needed it to. And so if they want to naturalize something, maybe the Oath of Druids is okay. We'll just try to draw into Cataclysms off Sylvan Library. They're just going to do nothing, though. Okay, there's a Cataclysm. That's promising. So here's a Sylvan Library. I wonder if they're going to Tranquil Domain me. I just don't think I can play around something like that. But I guess the plan is just to sit back here for our opponent. Well, they're just doing nothing. That's very interesting. I will activate. So Mox Diamond looking pretty bad. I don't really think I want to cast this Terravore right now. I mean, that gives them a free oath. Yeah, I think we're just going to let that one go. Then I will play Mox Diamond and discard this extra Wasteland. Could attack for 3. It's pretty free here, actually. Our only instant is Swords to Plowshares, anyway. Okay. Doing it. I don't know what our opponent's cooked up for us, and at this point I'm afraid to find out. Alright, so they've up and cracked all the fetches here. So it seems that it's about to go down. With a Thunderscape of Battle Mage. Okay, so they probably have to take Oath of Druids here, I would think. Okay. So we could draw this Cataclysm. Sorry, this Terravore. I think what we can do is draw the Terravore and then shuffle in response to the Sylvan Library trigger. I think I did that correctly. I did do it correctly. These cards are not super special. So, let's see, we can definitely put back Call of the Herd. Probably worth it to keep the swords. Am I gonna like play Terravore here? Is that too greedy? Can they kill me next turn? Alternatively, I could just play Cataclysm and set them back to 1 land. Alright, I think I'm going to play the Terravore and see how this goes. And hold up a Swords to Plowshares. Priest of Titania with Summoning Sickness is not too scary. Another Priest of Titania with Summoning Sickness is not too scary either. Okay, so we're going to get him pretty pretty good here with Cataclysm, so that's nice. Okay, we'll put back the Call of the Herd. At this point, I think we're probably okay without the bonus Sylvan Library. So we will play Cataclysm. One, two, three. And then, do I want to keep the Wasteland or the Treetop Village? I think I'm going to keep the Wasteland. And I'll play the Windswept Heath. I'll attack with a Terravore. No blocks. And just given the amount of removal I have in my hand, I'm not going to be sitting back on this Terravore. Cool. All right, so on the draw here, so like Mox Diamond, something I'm less excited to board out. We can probably make do without Deep Analysis. I wonder if Quiet Speculation is just too slow. I mean, it is really good in certain spots. Maybe I can make do without the Naturalize. Just 3 answers, 2 survival. Kind of want that Naturalize. I guess Call of the Herd looked really bad. All right, let's send it. So this is kind of a challenging hand on the draw here. I mean, there's not a lot of action, but we are on the draw. We have these Rishadan Ports. That will also slow the game down. And then we have the top of our deck. This is another challenging hand in game 3. I mean, it does have the answer for survival is the thing. But we're going to end up probably sorting the first thing that they play. But we are going to draw cards every turn. If it's all land, it's going to be pretty bad. I think this hand is a little underpowered. And I'm going to mulligan this hand. Well, this hand does play like a bunch of spells that do things. And so I think I somehow negotiated that mulligan decision. That was a rough one. But I think we're going to get there. So we're going to keep. And I think deep analysis seems like the pretty obvious bottom. Yep. Wirewood Symbiote. Okay. I'm going to play the Adarkar Wastes and Past. So this is where we don't have an answer for survival. So we'll see how that shakes out. There's the survival. Cannot do anything about that. A Mox Diamond. It's not terrible. I think what I need to do here is play a Volcanic Spray. I just don't see any way around it. And that'll hopefully put our opponent in kind of an awkward position. And then maybe next turn we'll draw another land and we can spray plus Sylvan Library. Actually, we've got it off the Treva's Ruins. That'll get us to 4 mana. All right, so because we can tap the land for the Gemstone Mine for a mana and then bounce it. Well, our opponents played a basic forest, and it looks like they may be passing through their turn. That's an interesting development. Okay. Well, presumably their plan is to survival in our end step. So this Oath of Druids is a pretty decent draw, and so what am I going to do? I think we're going to play Oath of Druids plus Sylvan Library. So I don't think it really matters in which order I do it. I guess here's the Oath of Druids. Play Treva's Ruins. No response. Get back Gemstone Mine. Play Mox Diamond. Discard Gemstone Mine. Here's Sylvan Library. Alright, well let's see what kind of damage they can do on their turn. Activate Survival, pitching Anger. Okay, so they're discarding Squee now. So they've gotten the Thunderscape Battle Mage. So the plan, once again, must be to destroy my Oath of Druids. And I think I'm pretty okay with that, if that's what we're doing here. I kind of care more about this Sylvan Library. Although having Oath of Druids in play, would be pretty decent. Now they aren't playing the Mountain this turn, which is good news. So their boys will not be angry. I think the plan, if they play Thunderscape here like we're expecting, it's going to be to play Cataclysm. Well, we do need to hit our 4th land, so... Alright, Sylvan Library, take us to the Promised Land. We got there. I think we can yield to these. Whew. All kinds of good stuff going on here. So, do I not just play Cataclysm? I mean, we're probably doing this is going to be fine. We can go to 14. Oof. I mean, I could just Ray the Survival right now and see what they're left with. Like Wasteland, the City of Brass 2. I think playing Cataclysm and resetting the board, and then just raying the Survival next turn seems fine. It is pretty tempting to ray the Survival right now, though. How much damage could they possibly do? It's just very mana inefficient to play the ray here, so I really want to play the Cataclysm. It's a tough decision. They're going to go down to 1 permanent. They lose 3 off this Cataclysm, so that's no joke. All right, what I'm going to do, I think, is Ray the Survival of the Fittest and keep the fact that I have another land a secret. And then hopefully nothing's so catastrophic happens that we can't catch up with a Cataclysm here. The thing is, if I play Cataclysm there, I know the top deck card in my library is another Cataclysm. Like, if Sylvan Library gets destroyed, it's a tough spot. Living Wish. Okay. So they play a creature here. It's going to be good news for our Cataclysm. A Wasteland. That's not so bad. I guess they're going to hit the Trevas. They get to attack here. Okay. It's not a bad play from our opponent. So hopefully we can find a land off Sylvan Library here. Tapping the City of Brass. For a Maltani's Acolyte. Okay, that's more pressure. So if we can get the Terravore down, that would be really nice. We cannot. We do have Swords to Plowshares, though. Okay. This is a delicate balance here. That Wasteland was really good on our Treva's Ruins. I think I just have to plan on drawing more lands here. I guess it wouldn't have hurt to play the second Sylvan Library. They are paying for Echo. And I think it makes sense to sword some Altani's Acolyte before they get a bouncer dude going. The Thunderscape Battle Mage is not an elf that can be bounced with Wirewood Symbiote. Second City Brass. What are we doing with double white? Tanglewire. Devastating. Okay. Okay. This is going to be a close one. So we have to tap 2 permanents. We're just oh so close. So they get in for 2 more. Is it like another Tanglewire? That would be devastating. Naturalize on my Mox Diamond. Oof. So man, maybe like I should have just played the Cataclysm when I had the chance. Way back when. So here's a Plains. Yeah, because playing Cataclysm's not going to stop them from attacking with this 2/2 is the thing. So I guess if we can find like 1 more land here and they don't have an answer for this Terravore, that would be swell. 1 more Landlord Elf. It isn't like the end of the world. We could get through that. So we'll tap these 2. Sylvan Library. Don't let me down. Treetop Village. Dang, so close. All right. That was pretty close, but yeah, I guess could have played the Cataclysm back there. Tough call. All right. On to round 5 here. On the play. This hand has a nice mixture of Oath of Druids, Cataclysm, and Moxes. I mean, the extra Mox is a little unfortunate, but I think it's definitely a keep. The only question here is like, what land do I want to play first? I kind of don't want to discard the Rishadan Port to the Mox. So maybe I am just going to play Rishadan Port instead of this basic Plains here. And it's a little awkward looking, but we'll go ahead and pass the turn. Dark Ritual. Duress. Well, I'd say we're going to lose our Oath of Druids, most likely. We sure do. Another Dark Ritual. Interesting. And a Phyrexian Negator. I guess jamming turn 1 Negators is all the rage now. Another Cataclysm. Well, that's not going to help with our Negator problem. Well, I think the plan is just to tap my opponent's swamp. And hope for the best. They have an undiscovered paradise. Okay. Take some damage. Terravore. That does technically block the Phyrexian Negator. So I could tap this for a white, play the Treva's Ruins. No response. Bounce the plains. I mean, it's not much of a blocker. Well, the other option is to play like Cataclysm, and that seems pretty bad. But like what we could do here is draw another land and then play the Cataclysm. And then the Terravores have a reasonable size to block their Negator. They're probably, just going to have to answer the Negator here. Makes sense. A Wasteland. Well, playing Cataclysm still doesn't really do anything. I think I'm just going to have to port them. They're going to be having their Undiscovered Paradise go back to hand. We could Wasteland the Undiscovered Paradise, but I don't think it does that much. I mean, I guess what would be ideal here is to draw like a Call of the Herd. It's not going to do it. All right, soloed by Phyrexian Negator. I can respect it. All right, so like Call of the Herd, Zuran Orb, Mana Leak, interesting cards. I don't know how much I need to worry about. Well, they probably have Dystopia. So Ray of Revelation probably pretty good. Volcanic Spray is a maybe, but at least could do some damage to Phyrexian Negator. So we're going to be on the play. We're probably not interested in paying a ton of life. And that means I need one more cut. I think Treetop Village comes into play tapped. Maybe the Mana Leak is a little sus here. But, I mean, it could counter Phyrexian Negator. I mean, I'll try it out. Let's see how we feel. All right, well, this is a hand that does some things. Let's play the turn 1 Treetop Village and pass. They can't duress away both Oath of Druids and Swords to Plowshares, at least not without a Dark Ritual. And multiple discard spells. Yeah, there's the duress. So they take Oath of Druids, Carnophage, and Sarcomancy. Well, we've got our work cut out for us. Well, I mean, what we're going to do is Swords one of these guys. And then Treetop Village at least can block them for a little while. So we've got that going on. Yep. Have to keep paying life to the Carnophage. That works for me. Another Sarco. Okay. Sylvan Library. So do I want to take a turn off to play Sylvan Library here? I guess what I could do is play Treetop Village. And then Sylvan Library. Alternatively, we can just hold up Treetop Village like an activation by playing a basic forest and blocking. All right, I guess I'm going to play the Sylvan Library here. I just think they'll have a removal spell for my Treetop Village. So then we don't get very far. And then maybe this can find us like a Cataclysm or Swords to Plowshares or Oath of Druids. It's a basic swamp. A Winter Orb. Well, potentially devastating. Untap. Treetop Village. Have a look with Sylvan. It's a whole lot of nothing. Well, I mean, Swords of Plowshares is fine. So we can Swords a token and still caught under the icy grip with their Winter Orb for some time here. But the Swords of Plowshares is going to slow down their clock at least. Oh, they're just passing the turn back, so I'll untap the plains. Unfortunately, we just don't have any lands in the graveyard for this Terravore. Well, that is a land I could put in the graveyard. I think this is just a shuffle, though. Although tapping out to play... Ugh. This Winter Orb is devastating. I guess I boarded out a Mox Diamond and all my Naturalizes. It's because we can stand up Treetop Village to block the Carnophage, but then we're devastated by the Winter Orb. I guess paying 4, though, doesn't sound very good. And what I'd like to do, I think, is just shuffle my library. If they're just attacking for 2, I think my plan is to take it. Skittering Scourge. Okay, well, that being the plan, I guess we're going to be blocking their Carnophage here, or trying to. Okay, so they just are conceding they don't have anything. All right, well, search up a plains. So this is a chance to drop a Cataclysm. You can find one. Deep analysis. Well, it's still not looking great. But I guess what we can do is shuffle our library. Quiet speculation. We'll get just a few things. I think that Volcanic Spray just doesn't do anything. I'd rather get some insulation against dystopia. Play out the Wasteland. Oh, that was terrible. That doesn't let me activate the Treetop Village. So we just take 5 here. And so which land do I want to untap? I guess the Gemstone Mine lets me cast the most things. Ugh, that's terrible. I mean, I guess the Mox Diamond's alright. We can make a blocker. I guess we're not paying any life. So we can, yeah, make a blocker off the Call of the Herd. And then I guess we're praying to find our last Swords to Plowshares. Alright, so the opponent untaps. They're just attacking with Skittering Scourge. There's nothing I can do. So I guess, I don't know, the Plains seems as good of an untap as any. Zuran Orb would be a clutch draw. We did board in the Zuran Orb. And Swords to Plowshares. Another Sylvan Library. Alright, well. The fast black aggro was too much for us there. So maybe my sideboarding there just was not very good. So probably, you just don't know like what, if they're going to be bringing in Dystopia or something else, these black decks. I probably could have boarded out Mana Leak for the second Naturalize. And just settle for having one to Ray for. And then like Zuran Orb and Call of the Herd or block or you know, are decent cards. Just dudes, yeah, who can block. All right, well, knowing what I know now, I think I just would have boarded out the Mana Leak in the library and the Deep Analysis for the Naturalized Call of the Herd and the Zuran Orb. And just take a relatively modest action. All right, well, let's see if we can win one more of these. All right, here we go for round 6 of the CPL, trying to play for this 4-2 record here. We're going to be on the play. I think in the dark, this hand is pretty good. A lot of the things that Oath of Druids doesn't cover, you know, Ray of Revelation might be good, so I'll keep. All right, so the opponent keeps 6, play the Treetop Village and pass the turn. Mox Diamond, discarding Risk Grove. It looks like we're getting ported here. So presumably it's going to be, you know, Terrageddon. Let's see, if I play the Adarkar Wastes, the gig is kind of up as to what we're playing. Do I want to like burn a fetch land here? I guess I don't really see a reason to. I guess we could get like Wastelanded, but we would still be kind of set back. Well, right now my plan is to naturalize this Mox Diamond in my upkeep if the plan is to port me again. And playing a Windswept Heath doesn't really change that. Sylvan Library. Okay, so this is where our Ray of Revelation is going to be pretty decent. Drawing a Treva's Ruins. That seems fine. I think taking a Point of Pain here and maybe saving the fetch for a Sylvan Library is fine. I guess we could get into here, and that'd be kind of rough. A Weathered Wayfarer. Cool. So now we get to play Oath of Druids and naturalize the Mox Diamond. That's pretty exciting. I don't really think I want to draw another land, so I think I'm just going to fetch. Fetch up a Plains seems fine. So here's the Rishadan Port. Now I'll naturalize the Mox Diamond. And so do I want to get this Treva's Ruins out there? I guess I don't really see a reason to deploy it. They're really far from Armageddon here. They really need to have a disenchant for our Oath of Druids. think I might as well just play the Oath here. So I kind of think that Terravore is a superior Mox Diamond deck. I mean, it like definitely is. Like Weathered Wayfarer is basically the card to be playing with Mox Diamond. But one thing is the Oath matchup is kind of rough, where you're doing a lot of the same things, but have Oath of Druids. They fetch a Gemstone Mine. And they do have the Disenchant. I guess it's to be expected. But, alright, so Wastelanding into the Weathered Wayfarer doesn't really seem good. But playing this Call of the Herd seems pretty decent. So play Call of the Herd. I mean, yeah, Wastelanding. I could Wasteland the Port. Like, protect my mana. Does that do anything, though? I really don't think Wasteland into their Weathered Wayfarer matters. And it seems like we have plenty of mana. The only thing that could really go wrong is an Armageddon. They're going to activate their Wayfarer. They go for a Windswept Heath, but they play a Wasteland from hand. And that's fine. We have plenty of mana. We are going to get ported. So they pour Gemstone Mine, and we draw Sylvan Library. That's a pretty good one. So I do definitely want to get that down. So I'll attack with the Elephant token. And then we're going to have to play Treva's Ruins. And I think just bouncing the Gemstone Mine is fine. And here's Sylvan Library. Alright, so they crack the Gemstone Mine, so that could give them a Weathered Wayfarer activation here. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, they fetch up a Treetop Village. So they do play a Terravore here. It's going to be pretty good. Looks like it. Alright, well, let's find something off this Sylvan Library. That is a nothing. We'll yield to the Sylvan Library trigger. Okay, we don't need the Sylvan Library. Do I want to pay for this Volcanic Spray? In this spot, maybe not. So the plan's going to be to Quiet Speculation and then play Volcanic Spray. Yeah, I think we don't need to pay that 4 life. We're kind of going to have infinite cards on account of this Quiet Speculation. So here is the Quiet Speculation, targeting ourselves. Get the Spray, Deep Analysis, and Call of the Herd. Play the Gemstone Mine. Play the Spray. And we just need to find a Swords to Plowshares for this Terravore. Could think about chump blocking here. It's going to make Oath better if we draw it. I don't really see attacking with the Elephant token being that good, but we could maybe get 2 Elephant tokens into play. And double block it. That's like a really long shot. Alright, I think we'll take one more draw off the Sylvan Library before we start chump blocking Terravores. There's a Treetop Village. Here's a port. Come on, Sylvan Library. Alright, well there's Oath of Druids, so that's pretty decent. So I think I probably do want this mana leak. Hopefully that doesn't kill us. Here's Oath of Druids. Guess I'll play the land first. Avoid Catastrophe. And now we can mana leak an Armageddon. which could certainly prove lethal. Would make for a giant Terravore. And it's going to be hard for them to... I guess they could Wasteland to grow the Terravore and attack with the Treetop Village. That would be really good. They have a fetch land in hand, huh? Maybe we're just toast. No, the Windswept Heath is in the graveyard. Okay, there's the Armageddon. I think maybe still in this. All right, the opponent wanted to Armageddon the turn before. That probably would have been good. And now I think they're thinking about if they want to attack with their Terravore. Okay, they are going for the attack here. I think that's going to work out well for us, but we'll see. So we'll go to blockers. Go to 3. All right, now we at least get a Oath of Druids out to block our opponents. Here we go. Looks like we did not mill anything too interesting. I guess Swords to Plowshares is pretty good. Here comes the Sylvan Library. These are all pretty bad. City of Brass. I guess Mox Diamond. But here is a Wasteland to deal with our opponent's Treetop Village. And I guess there's just no reason not to pop this off now. And I don't think I can play a Call of the Herd here and let my opponent like oath out another Terravore potentially. So the opponent tapped for a white there, so they probably have a Swords to Plowshares in hand. So they could Swords to Terravore. We gain a bunch of life. We lose it again, but then we get another Terravore. So the opponent's just kind of down a card. So that seems like good news. A Werebear. Okay, well, that's going to be a problem. It is good news that we get to clear the top of our library here. And get a fresh look with the Sylvan. I guess we can make Call of the Herd. Ooh, another Terravore. That's pretty spicy. That's probably a best case scenario. So probably play the Terravore off of Gemstone, Treva's, Wastes, leave up the Plains. So here's the Terravore. And now we're passing back. All right, the opponent's tapping some mana here. Is it going to be another Terravore? It is. Okay. So we're going to lose the Swords to Plowshares that's on top of our library. But we're going to get a third Terravore. And I think that's okay. Like, our creatures are going to be bigger than their creatures. And they want to trade a Terravore. It seems fine. I'll block Terravore with Terravore. It's an awkward situation for our opponent. All right, so they pass it back. And here's a Swords to Plowshares. Interesting. Yeah, so we're going to gain a bunch of life. Get a giant Terravore. Draw for the turn. Draw some cards that aren't very good. Well, the Swords to Plowshares is excellent. So we'll put back some things that don't really matter. I think it's pretty free to take the draw here. If they get through the Terravore, we're donezo. So, do we want to Swords there, Terravore? Do I just want to play Call of the Herd? I think playing Call of the Herd is fine. Wait, how many lands are left in our deck is the question. We've got a forest and a plains here. There's a forest. And there's a plains. Okay, so this Windswept Heath isn't actually anything. So is it worthwhile to like Swords their Terravore here? It doesn't really accomplish a lot. Like how many swords have they played? 2. I think playing a Call of the Herd is fine. And we'll pass the turn. It's just if they Swords my Terravore, we're just necessarily in a fine spot. Because we gain 24 life and then we oath out yet another Terravore. And I guess like a Core Haven for my opponent would be pretty good. Getting a play. Armageddon. Okay. I think where I'm at is I do want to pay a little mana to shuffle my library, even though we don't find anything. We're gonna trade. Oh, I see. There's 3 cards left in my library. Okay. Well, I'm gonna block. And then, so like, where is the last Terravore? Is sort of the big question. Right, because we've used 3 Terravores. 1, 2. No, there's a third one here somewhere. Can't find it. 1, 2. All right, well, whatever. I don't see us not oathing here. Oh, I can't oath. I see. Oh, I guess. Oh, the other 2 are in exile. I see what's going on. Okay, so I'm just dead then. Wow. All right. I guess our opponent bolted together. I don't know how we were going to lose here, but I guess we somehow went through all 4 Terravores there. Because I guess I blocked 2 and I got sorted twice. All right. Yeah, there's just not going to be anything I can do. All right. GG. Okay, well, Mana Leak is going to be quite good at countering Armageddons. And I could bring in like the Krosan Reclamation. Like, what are the chances I find myself in that crazy situation again? And how much do I want a Cataclysm? I guess Volcanic Spray picks off Wayfarers, but is not terribly exciting. I'm thinking about cutting a Sylvan Library. They're going to have a lot of like Ray of Revelations of their own. And we still have the Deep Analysis, which I think is pretty good. I Could bring in like the Zuran Orb. There is this sideboard Naturalize. I think we're all set with 2 Ray of Revelations and 1 Naturalize. Mox Diamond's pretty good at not getting killed by Armageddon. All right, we'll try this. Well, it seems like a pretty strong hand, so I'm going to keep. I think the plan here is to jam a turn 1 Mox Diamond. I think we just got to discard a Rishadan Port. All right, here we go. Discard Rishadan Port. Play Rishadan Port. Play Sylvan Library. Okay, it's not instantly getting destroyed, so we can recoup some card disadvantage here. These are pretty decent. I think I'll pay for one of these. Play the Windswept Heath. Pass the turn. Yeah, we'll just make them use the fetch land here. So if we do get our Sylvan Library naturalized, we are in a position to play Deep Analysis. So that's pretty good. A Werebear. Okay. So I will fetch to clear the top of my library, grab a forest. So I think what I want to do here is play Oath of Druids and hold up Mana Leak. Let's see. I'm just trying to think here. Because I don't really want the Mox Diamond. Okay, so I think doing this is fine. Okay. So, not holding up Rishadan Port anyway. We're holding up Mana Leak. Pass the turn. Cycling Tranquil Thicket. All right, looks like they don't have a play, so they're just attacking for 1. It bodes well for us. Okay, I guess they have a play, so maybe they're going to play the Naturalize now. Another Werebear. It's pretty trivial. I think I am going to Mana Leak it, just to get value out of this Mana Leak. We're going to be trying to port them down on resources once we get our own Terravore out, and I don't want to hold up more mana. Nice 10-10. Nothing too crazy in the graveyard. Quiet Speculation and Swords to Plowshares. Okay, so I don't think I need another Oath of Druids right now. Don't even really need Quiet Speculation. We have the Ray in hand and the Deep Analysis too. So I'll play the Rishadan Port and pass the turn. So we'll tap down some mana. We're going to float, so I guess we're going into the opponent's draw step. Reprisal. I think that should be fine. We didn't board in the Krosan Reclamation. Port the forest. So I don't know. Hopefully, like maybe Krosan Reclamation does come in these crazy mirrors. All right, we can turn off the draw step. Stop. If they destroy the Oath of Druids, we should be able to just draw it again and play it. So that works out well. Rishadan Port, that's fine. They're going to get in for 1 rather than port us. It makes sense. $15-15. Oh, we did bring in Krosan Reclamation. Great. I'm reassured. None of these are too special. So I think we're just going to play Gemstone Mine here. And port our opponent twice. I'm just more worried about them having a Terravore more than anything else. Working the draw step stop here to make it all happen. Go into their main phase. All right, they are passing through their attack step. We're going into our turn. Here's a port on the Gemstone Mine. That's fine. Treetop Village. That looks like an okay one to deploy. So we'll get in for a whole bunch. So they're going to try to Oath. So this is where we're going to array our own Oath of Druids, which is a fun play. Make sure I did it right. Targeted the correct permanent. And I guess I still want to try to keep them off of Terravore. Okay. All right, there's a dub. So I think that maybe Quiet Speculation isn't actually that good. That is some sideboarding I was doing, I think, in the first 3 matches. That was working out pretty well. That would give me another Naturalize back in. And maybe a Cataclysm. Oh, not a Cataclysm. I think that's fine. 2 Cataclysms. All right, here we go. Let's go. Game 3 on the draw. All right, well, this is a pretty spicy one. We're going to keep. If they turn 1 Wayfarer, we'll turn 1 Oath. A Mox Diamond for our opponent. A Weathered Wayfarer. And they're going to pass. Okay. All right, so we drew a Gemstone Mine. So yeah, Wasteland isn't going to be especially awesome against Weathered Wayfarer. So I'll discard a Wasteland. And I think playing the Gemstone Mine here is fine, where we have the Treva's Ruins. So here's an Oath of Druids. The opponent plays a land. They should probably activate their Wayfarer right now, unless the plan is to naturalize my Oath of Druids. Looks like that's the plan. Okay, well, this being the case, I'm probably not going to play a land this turn. Oh, well, I can play the Treva's Ruins, actually, and bounce the Gemstone Mine. The opponent's cycling Secluded Step. Okay. This is kind of the thing about playing Weathered Wayfarer on the play. Is the opponent tried to make it work with a Mox Diamond there, but sometimes it's just not that good. All right, these are some cards. Cataclysm not looking too hot right now. What do we want to do? Definitely want to Wasteland that Treetop Village. I'll put Cataclysm on top. We'll take a free card here. Play the Wasteland, take out the Treetop Village. Yeah, just get the second Sylvan Library into play, even though it's not very good. On account of Disenchant. Recycle a Tranquil Thicket. There's the mighty Terravore. Get in for 1. Our own Terravore, that's pretty good. Let's see, so these cards are all pretty exciting. Maybe not the Cataclysm. I guess I can put that back for now. Hang on. Because the plan here, I definitely need to Swords the Terravore first thing. I guess I'm running out of time. Holy crap. Okay. Let's see. We're going to put back... I guess we'll put back Cataclysm. Gonna draw the Terravore. We'll skip the second library. Play Windswept Heath. Pass the turn, hold up Swords to Plowshares. Well, I wasn't thinking about time. That's definitely going to be a thing about having two Sylvan Libraries in play. All right, we'll let them do the thing with the Wayfarer. So looking at the board position here, it's not like Cataclysm's actually good. Our opponent's not, like, we're going to maybe take out like a second land. Unless they end up like destroying or playing a second creature here is what I'm trying to say. The Cataclysm doesn't do much. So I think I'm just going to shuffle my library. They're going to cycle the Tranquil Thicket and draw another card. That's cool. There's a Wasteland. I'm going to fetch in my upkeep for a forest. Here it is. Try to get through these as quickly as possible. Oh man, I really want to naturalize that Mox Diamond. Put on top. No. Yeah, I think I'm just going to naturalize the Mox Diamond here. Seems fine. Play, there's something they're just going to Wasteland. Pass the turn. They do Wasteland my Adarkar Wastes, it kind of sets them back. So that's good. I don't know about this Krosan Reclamation. Alright, so they've got a Mox Diamond anyway. Yep, here goes the Wasteland. So I guess playing the Wasteland did set them up to do this, so maybe that was silly. Alright, playing the Adarkar Wastes, let them Wasteland me here. And then activate the Wayfarer. There's a Treetop Village. And we'll F6. Go to our draw step. Yes. That's a good one. You know, I think I actually want to draw the Mox Diamond and keep it. I'm going to play Mox Diamond. Discard the Gemstone Mine. Play Terravore. And we're going to F6. So we pass it back to our opponent's turn. The good news is they can't possibly activate Weathered Wayfarer now. Call of the Herd. Okay, well, we're going to outclass that with our Terravore. All right. Put some stuff back. No. Attack. No blocks. Another Terravore. I'm just going to not play the land and not screw around with this Weathered Wayfarer. They stand up Treetop Village. Oh, I'm just dead. Son of a... All right. Oh man, I can't believe I screwed it up. I thought I had it, but I didn't have it. Oof. 0-3 in the final 3 matches. Oh no. All right, well, you have to go 5-1 to make the playoffs of the CPL. So 4-2 wasn't going to do it anyway, but I would have felt a lot better about having a winning record. I mean, one thing is we did lose to some pretty cool opponents, like the Cradle Control deck. I mean, we got good by Tanglewire and the Living Wish for the Wasteland. And then that 5-color Negators deck with Wind Orb out of the sideboard. That's pretty cool. And then kind of a crazy Terravore mirror in the final round. And it just wasn't quite sharp enough. I guess if that Krosan Reclamation was a Zuran Orb, I guess bringing in Krosan Reclamation was just silly. Just a little tilty based on how things went in game 1. And yeah, it could have at least been Zuran Orb or like anything else. So that's a donkey of the day play on myself. Well, this is kind of the foible of playing like an Oath of Druids. Well, really the 4 Sylvan Library, 4 Mox Diamond deck. And then 4 Terravores. It's just, the mirrors are all a little awkward. And then when your Sylvan Library draws you into more Sylvan Libraries or Mox Diamonds, that can be pretty soul-crushing. I feel like the best, like, Sylvan Library Mox Diamond deck would play 3 of each. And I've considered, like, Terravore strategies that do that, Terrageddon strategies. Although, Sam Black, I guess, has this white-black, scroll rack Mox Diamond Tithe deck. And that seems like a really good place to use Mox Diamond. It's designed to draw cards to discard to Mox Diamond very effectively. And it doesn't suffer from the Sylvan Library and the Sylvan Library problem. Well, I have been having more success lately in Paper Magic with Replenish, and obviously we, made the playoffs of the CPL with Blue-White Replenish. And that deck is kind of less frustrating to play. I used to play Rhinos on this channel, and I do think Replenish, it's kind of like a pre-modern Replenish deck. You do just kind of jam. That's what you do with the Rhinos, and you leave your opponent with not a lot of permanence. It doesn't always get there, but a lot of the time it does. Well, anyway, we'll rinse the taste of defeat from our mouths after that 0-3 outing, and we'll be back in the next CPL with something else, I can promise you. I'm not sure what, but got a bunch of things to choose from here. So, all right, thanks for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you want more pre-modern content. All right, see you, folks.